Chapter 6, we're going to multiply and divide. So multiplication is actually a whole lot easier than addition or subtraction because we don't need those pesky common denominators. We literally just multiply straight across. 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 8 is 16. That's it. It's that easy. 1 times 4 is 4. 4 times 5 is 20. That simplifies. 4 and 20 both can be divided by 4. That's actually 1/5. However, I didn't need to do all that work. Not that that was a lot of work, mind you. Instead, notice that 4 and 4, the two 4s, are diagonal from each other, one on top, one on the bottom. When the same number is on different levels of the fraction, you can cancel them out. Just straight up, you're gone. And what that does is it just leaves the 1 on the top and the 5 on the bottom. There's our 1/5 with basically no work. 20 times 1/3. The one thing we do need to know is that a whole number like 20 can be written as a fraction if we put it over 1. And that makes it easier to see the multiply straight across part. 20 times 1 is 20. 1 times 3 is 3. That's an improper fraction, of course. You can't give me that. So how many times can you take 3 out of 20? Well, 6. 6 times 3 is 18. So I can take 6 3s out of 20. And if I do that, I'm taking 18 away from 20. So that leaves 2 in the numerator. So 6 2/3. Here we have 40 times 5/12. So we're going to make that 40 over 1 times 5/12. Now, we can do some simplifying here. The 40 and the 12 that are on top and bottom aren't the same, so they don't cancel out. But they can both be divided by 4. 40 divided by 4 is 10, and 12 divided by 4 is 3. Those are smaller numbers, and if you're anything like I am, you much prefer working with smaller numbers. So, this is called simplifying before you multiply. You want to get in the habit of doing this. It makes your life easier. Now we go back to multiplying straight across like we've been doing. 10 times 5 is 50. 1 times 3 is 3. The question is, how many 3's can we take out of 50? And I know this, but I bet most of you don't, and that's okay. We can use our division method. We can review this. 3 goes into 5 once. 5 minus 3 is 2. 3 goes into 20 6 times, with a remainder then of 2. So this is 16 2/3. See, I showed you this long division method back in chapter 3. Kind of got rid of it in chapter 4 and 5, but it's still a useful tool to have. Because you get something like 50/3, and you know your times tables for 3 up to 3 times 12, but do you know 3 times 16 off the top of your head? If you don't, having this in your back pocket helps. One last example, 5/8 times 4/15. And as I look diagonally, I see a lot of things that will play nicely together. 5 and 15 can both be divided by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 15 divided by 5 is 3. But on the other diagonal, 4 and 8 play well together. They can both divide by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 8 divided by 4 is 2. We just turned 5 times 4 over 8 times 15 into 1 times 1 over 2 times 3. That's a whole lot easier. Simplify before you multiply.